Klaus Schwab says in Davos 2022 that they are ready to save the world. But the World Economic Forum leader warns dissent will not be tolerated at confab. Amid a global pandemic, famine, wars, economic decline, potential political turmoil, the World Economic Forum will host its invitation-only Davos, Switzerland conference in person for the first time in 2 years. For WEF founder Klaus Schwab, the timing for mankind is fortuitous, declaring to reporters that these issues, along with quote-unquote the climate crisis, must be confronted in Davos. He said, in a world which is becoming more fragmented, more divided, and where many of the traditional multilateral organizations tend to become dysfunctional or at least mistrustful, a global platform based on informal, trust-based, and action-oriented cooperation will be ever more relevant, more important than before. Some 2,500 leaders will gather in the mountain resort in Switzerland, in Davos, for the conference, which began today, including 50 heads of state. Schwab warned that at Davos there will be no place for the frivolous fringe that seeks to distract and divert attention. He said, and I condemn it wholeheartedly, particularly for those who have nothing to do with the World Economic Forum community and just come to Davos to hijack our brand, he said. Now, the Biden administration is a strong advocate for the World Economic Forum, adopting its term Build Back Better, which captures the idea of a great reset, quote unquote, of capitalism and of the world order in the aftermath of pandemic. And after November 2020 election, it was reported former Secretary of State John Kerry and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said in WEF panel that a Joe Biden presidency would help propel the Great Reset plan. Kerry, who will attend the gathering, said at the time that the notion of a reset is more important than ever before. He said, I personally believe we are at the dawn of an extremely exciting time. Kerry said, who has been appointed as Biden's climate czar, said the rejoining of the Paris Climate Accord by Biden would help drive the Great Reset. But rejoining Paris is not enough, he said. He said the Biden administration will focus on every sector of the American economy. There will be a 2035 goal to achieve net neutrality with respect to power and production. Kerry said the U.S. is, quote, ready to come back in and help to lead and raise the ambition to accelerate its incredible capacity for the transformation in the private sector, end quote. Last June, the White House published a statement announcing Biden was set to meet with G7 leaders and discuss ways to forge a more fair, sustainable, inclusive global economy that meets the unique challenges of our time. Among White House initiatives towards that end, it pushed for a global minimum tax on multinational corporations of at least 15%. Capitalism as we know it is dead, quote unquote. Fact checkers once dismissed the Great Reset conspiracy theory, but Schwab made it clear as early as June 2020 that the pandemic should be exploited as an opportunity to advance globalist agenda promoted by his Davos conferences, which have pushed for numerous proposals, such as a worldwide carbon tax to redistribute wealth and shift sovereignty from nation states to global entities. Schwab wrote that the world must act jointly and swiftly to revamp all aspects of our societies and economies, from education to social contracts and working conditions, and bring about a great reset of capitalism, he said. So it's not a theory. This is exactly what they're up to. At January 2021 virtual Davos meeting, a Fortune 500 CEO affirmed WEF's assertion that capitalism as we know it is dead. And later that year, Pope Francis called for a new world order in a book titled God and the World to Come. He described the new order as a shift from financial speculation, fossil fuels, and military build-up to a green economy based on inclusiveness. In November 2018, reported progressive filmmaker Michael Moore claimed that Pope Francis told him capitalism is a sin and urged Michael Moore to continue making his left-leaning documentaries. And this is by WND. Please leave your by Art Moore. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.